All right, welcome back to the channel. So Deontay Wilder, it appears, from inside sources that I have, is giving a pencil whipping to Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury's career might be paused up for half of the next year. Let's talk about what's going on with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So there is a saying, it's cheaper to keep her. And that is something that men will tell each other when they are contemplating a divorce. They will say, man, I want to leave this woman. She's on my nerves. I can't stand her. She's accusing me of cheating on somebody, and I'm not cheating. Sure, you're not cheating, man. She knows she caught you, right? But anyway, I want to leave this lady, right? So I'm filing for divorce. I'm walking out this house. I'm taking my money. I'm out. And then somebody knocks on your door. Excuse me, sir. Is your name thus and such? Yes, I'm thus and such. You have been served. And off you go. Right? Now you're in divorce court. I don't know. Do they serve you for the divorce court? I do believe they do. Regardless, then you're sitting there thinking you're going to get out of this relationship with this woman so that you can go and live your life free. And you just lose 70% of your income. You got alimony. You lose your house. She keeps the cars, all of that good stuff because you're at fault. That's what happens. And then you realize when you wake up and go through all of that, because that was a dream, right? You realize, oh, it's cheaper to keep her. Let me just keep my obligations, work out this relationship because I'll be in a worse situation if I don't. It's cheaper to keep her. That means it's cheaper. It'll cause you less stress in the long run just to do what you're supposed to do. And that, my friend, I think is what Tyson Fury is experiencing right now. It will probably wind up being cheaper just to fight Deontay Wilder instead of trying to run out and skip town. Now, why do I say that? Because I got a call this morning because I went out and I did some research. I did not get any of this information from anyone directly tied to Deontay Wilder's camp. I'm going to be very explicit. This was not Tay Jones. This was not anyone else that I usually talk to about Deontay Wilder because there's a gag order on that situation. So I don't want to get any information from anybody that I know, that you know, I know, or anything like that. So I got some information from another area, and it is this, that they believe that the process with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is still in the mediation. It hasn't even gone to arbitration. And let me explain what that is very, very briefly. Mediation is where you get together and you're saying, let's talk about this and see if we can solve the problem, right? If to use the wife scenario again, you have to go to counseling, right? It's like the judge says, okay, guy, you want a divorce, but before I'm allow you to get a divorce, you have to go to counseling. If you go through this counseling and you talk your problems out, and then if you cannot work it out, after that, then you can come to me and then we will go through the process of seeing how do we divide the assets up. But before that, because you agreed on it, you said before there has to be counseling before a divorce. You guys agreed to this. It's on your prenup. You got to go. So after you go and see what happens is they go through it and say they don't work it out. Just like Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. They go through mediation, and they don't work it out. Well, then what is next? Next is arbitration. But does arbitration start the minute that you say that you can't do it? No. In the case of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, it's my understanding that Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, depending on who the party is that wants to seek arbitration, they have after mediation, they find out the mediation doesn't work. The party that still don't like it has 60 days to initiate the arbitration. Now, let's do the math on that and why Tyson Fury, it might have been cheaper to keep him. Because now you're talking about, this is January 1st, right? This is December 26th. Ain't nothing happening in period until at least a week into January, and you're still in mediation. So say you go through mediation and you go back and back and back and back for another month. Then you are now at what? March, right? Because, you're now in January or February, excuse me. So say that's the second week of February. Then you have 2 more months, 60 days to initiate the arbitration. So now you're now in March and April. April being when the arbitration starts. What if the arbitration takes 4 months? Right? And it could, because so far the mediation has taken 2. Why couldn't the arbitration take longer? We don't know, but just assume and put it out there and say now from February to 60 days from February be March and April. 4 months from April's that's 8, right? May, June, July, August, right? May, June, July, August. You're there. Is that right? February, March, April, May, June, July. April, July. Thank you. Now, that's July if it's 4 months. It could be longer. It could be shorter. It could be into August. It could be into September. It could be a little bit before. And then after that, you have to get a fight because you can't take a fight unless the networks give a date, and you have to plan that date out. What date are you going to give anybody if you don't know when you're going to get out of arbitration and who you're going to fight? And you don't even know how arbitration is going to turn out, right? Because arbitration could turn out where they say, okay, Tyson refused to fight, pay this man $50 million. Pay this man $30 million. You don't know what this judge is going to say. You just don't know. So it's cheaper to keep her because Tyson Fury could have just sucked it up and said, you know what? I'm going to beat your tail. No, I'm not pulling out of this fight. I'm taking this fight as soon as the networks say it's okay. And do you know when the networks thought it was going to be okay? The networks thought it was going to be okay in February, March timeframe, late January, February. That's when they wanted to have the fight. It should be right around the corner. But because this guy cheated, number one, because he did cheat, then Deontay Wilder calls him out, right? And he denies it. Then he wants to drop out of the fight. Now, if he was the fight would have been over in January. Now you're looking like if the Deontay Wilder fight happens, it could happen in the later part of 2021. And if it doesn't happen for you, you may not get a fight till 2022. But you're thinking, oh, it's the Anthony Joshua fight. Dog, Anthony Joshua ain't guaranteed to fight you, man. Anthony Joshua is out there represented by Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn ain't like the type of guy to just throw Anthony Joshua away to a guy that is a rampant cheater like Tyson Fury. And I don't care what these guys say about how big it is for UK boxing. You know why? Because the fight's not happening in the UK regardless. That fight is literally too big for UK boxing, at least the way that they're trying to sell it. Personally, I think it's a lot of hype, but still, hey man, I'm in a tiny minority with that. So taking what the vast majority of people say, Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, if that is as big as they say, that fight's coming to the United States anyway. And if the fight's coming to the United States, how well is that going to sell with Tyson Fury's reputation in shambles because he ducked the guy from America? It's not going to go well because you all think American fight fans are these cornballs on Boxing Scene or on these other websites. They're not. The American boxing fan are the people that come by the live streams and the ones that are watching videos from non-mainstream outlets. Those people, and they are the people that are, most people don't care about Tyson Fury, number one. That's the main overriding thing because he was never, ever able to capitalize off of his win with Deontay Wilder because it came in such a blatantly corrupt manner. And now the guy's skating out, and then he's going to try to come back to the U.S. to fight Anthony Joshua because that's the only place that fight is going to make the type of money that these guys want to make in order to either throw Anthony Joshua away or throw Tyson Fury away. But anyway, That's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.